Yep, I'm red. We're ready. We're good.
Red.
Red and steady.
Just like your microphone.
Ready, steady, Freddy. Ho ho.
Oh.
Ned Ryerson?
Ryerson. I don't know where you need. I don't know if you're going anywhere right now, but
Can
you cancel him?
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
That hug he gives him is so sensual.
Oh, that's exactly how you deal with someone like that, though.
I mean, obviously, it works so beautifully.
Or you buy all the insurance.
I have all the insurance.
Best day of my life.
Oh, man. I'm trying to find our commenter who I'll have to find him later. But anyways, welcome back to another episode of Nostalgialand. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
We're so happy to have you.
Hell yeah.
Extremely.
You know what I discovered this week?
Sunny D vodka seltzers?
These are delicious.
This week I got one.
Oh, Trey's one of us.
One of us.
Yeah. I do love... I took a risk tonight because I was like, I swear that I'm pretty sure the Milams have them. Which if
Milams.
Milams is it? What is it?
It's
It's
Milams.
Milams.
Is it Milams or Milams?
No,
So
100% it's Milams.
our older
Okay.
brother, when they put the Milams in,
Yeah.
where the old Publix used to be, well, that was a long time ago, dang. But he worked at the Best Buy really close to it, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever been to this grocery store, Milams?" You're like, "What?" And my dad's like, "You mean Milams?" And he's like, "Yeah."
You mean?
He's like, "Yeah, it's a nice place."
Yeah, they play classical music, which I'm like, dude, this is a mistake because honestly, like, if I'm walking around and I'm going grocery shopping, that's like the most boring thing for me. And then you're gonna put classical music on top of it, and I love classical music. It's just that classical music makes me sleepy. And if I'm gonna be walking around looking at and the lighting in there too, it's like walking through a bookstore with food.
It's like
in
Barnes
it.
and Noble.
Yes, it's the Barnes and Noble of food.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful. So
It's
anyways,
very high class grocery shopping feeling.
they have the D. They have Sunny D vodka seltzers. You
I
okay?
had one of my daughter's bows was in my pocket and I have dropped it and I cannot find it.
One of your
It's
daughter's
probably in the
bows?
chair.
Yeah, like it was like
Oh,
I guess,
okay. Yeah.
Like I guess it got like mixed up into my shorts in the laundry.
That happens. Yeah.
And I was like, well,
That's not the one time I was working in the at BJ's restaurant and the brew house, and I was like, dude, something is itching in my shirt, and it's like it's full length collared dress shirts, and it's already being like 97 degrees inside the kitchen next to the warmers, and you're grabbing plates, and so I'm dying, and I kept feeling something itching, and I literally I just unbuttoned a button, reached into my armpit wherever that was, I pulled out, and it was my wife's thong. And
Nice.
and like the line cook saw me and was like, "What the?" And I was like, and he was like, "Hey,
shut up.
Which is how I became cool with all the line cook guys, because that's
That's how you do. Yeah.
they're in their own
Like you
pod of people.
you do.
They're a special
Yeah.
breed.
They're good breed, but they don't.
Especially lifelong, like career
cooks.
line cooks
Yeah.
at like a BJ's brew house.
Long
They're a
line-
special breed.
Long line cooks.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, long time line cooks, line cooks, long time line
Long
cooks.
time lawn cooks.
So welcome back and thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Man, today we're doing a great 93
You ever have deja vu?
classic. Yeah.
I think this is one of the best comedies. Like it's so awesome. It's so good. I mean, it's so funny, but there's so much heart to it and so much like underlying like philosophical questions that I don't even
Right.
think Harold Ramis was going for. Ramis?
Raimi? Yeah, Ramis. I don't know.
I think it's Ramus.
I think it is.
Harold Ramis?
Yeah.
Because I hear different people say different things, and
I
it's
do
very
too.
confusing to me.
But there's a Raimi who's a director, and recently their kid became a director.
I think that's Harold Ramis.
Is
think
that the
that's
same
him.
Raimi? Okay.
Because he's the director who's done all these movies. He's the guy in the scene with when he does the CT scan, the brain scan. He's the doctor. He's Egon.
He is, and he's Egon.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's Groundhog Day. Or do you want to do it all together? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Groundhog Day.
Sorry, I just thought it was great in the radio when they're like, "So put your little hand in mine," and he goes, "It's cold outside," and they're like, "It's Groundhog Day," and they do it together.
You know,
Anyways.
I've heard that song somewhere before.
It's Ramus.
It's Ramis,
It's spelled Ramis.
but is it Raimi?
Right, but is it pronounced?
Google pronounced Raimi.
No, we should spend like 15, 20 minutes of this show just talking about his last
Oh, you guys
name.
keep going. I got it.
No,
You know that Bill Murray and Harold Ramis had worked on like 4 films up to this point: Stripes, Ghostbusters.
I almost said in the army now, but that's Stripes.
Right. Yes.
Different.
And no offense to Pauly Shore and In the Army Now, a movie that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Stripes is way better. It's such an awesome movie.
Do you know why it's better? Because of John Candy.
Yeah.
You rewatch it and like Bill Murray.
It's got John Candy and Bill Murray.
Yes.
I can't. The nostalgia's way too strong for In the Army Now. Sorry. My nostalgia blinders are going to kill me on that one.
Stripes
Yeah,
is
because
so
of
good.
the inspiration of your brother, the Pool Man.
It's so funny. I said, no hate to In the Army Now. I love that movie. But so this was like the fourth movie that they did, I believe is what it was. And Bill Murray was going through a divorce. And apparently he's like known to be hard to work with.
Yeah.
Because he's so like eccentric and strange. But he was so difficult during this movie that
Just being like a dick.
yeah, like he was impossible to work with. And since he was going through his divorce, he was even more so annoying and crazy and ridiculous. And he would call Harold Ramis at all hours of the day and night to talk about the character and different ideas that he had. So much so that finally Harold Ramis put him in touch with the writer of the script and was like, just talk to him.
Oh,
talk to him.
Yeah.
And Bill Murray was like offended by it. And they would like go at it on set. Him and Harold Ramis like arguing and over things, and
That's
they
a lot
ended
of
up
fun.
not talking for 20 years
Oh,
after this movie.
what movie brought them back together? It wasn't
Nothing. They never
Nothing?
did another movie together
Zombie.
again.
Oh no.
No, actually, Brian Doyle Murray, his brother,
Right.
after the 20 years, and they would see each other like at award shows and stuff, and it would just be like, hey. It
Sound
wasn't
like
like they were, there was no animosity. They just didn't like. Bill Murray cut him out of his life, basically, and Harold had expressed regret over losing that friendship and the movies that they could have made together through their careers and everything. And Brian Doyle came to Bill and was like, "Hey, man, like, go see Harold, go see him." And it was just a few years before Harold Ramey died, and they supposedly reconciled and put everything behind them and became friends right before he died.
Yeah.
What a waste! And some people believe that he did it because he wanted to prove that he could be a star and do things without Harold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love Bill Murray and anything Bill Murray's in. Even if it's like a weird little cameo thing, like, and there's a couple movies that he's done in the last few years that I'm like, wait, when did this come out? Like, there's one with him and Adam Driver, and they fight zombies in it, and it's the most peculiar movie you've ever seen because it just completely flew under the radar. I'll try to find it.
Not with Adam Driver. Zombieland's Woody Harrelson.
No, it is with Adam Driver. It's not Zombieland.
I asked
No.
if it was
Yeah,
Zombieland.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So, The Dead Don't Die, and it came out before Zombieland Double Tap, but it's this strange, totally flew under the radar.
His cameo in Zombieland is hysterically funny.
That's still
Brilliant.
tender.
Yeah. Or when
That's right.
he gets shot and he's taking his final breath, and he goes,
Oh, the best is the kid who shot him comes up and like touches it, and he looks at him and he's like, "That's still tender."
still tender. Like he says that basically he's loved the zombie apocalypse because he just puts on some zombie makeup. He goes and plays 9 holes. Like he goes plays 18.
walked on.
No one out there. You just walk on. No one's out there. And he's like, I saw. Who did he says like I saw Larry David out there. And he's like zombie.
Zombie.
How's he doing? He's a zombie.
But him and when they do like the Grand Budapest Hotel and the Life of Steve Zissou, those
The Life Aquatic. or
Life
whatever?
Aquatic, yeah, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Who directed that movie?
I know his
Quentin
name.
no, he's some other he does all these kind of bizarre.
Wes Anderson.
Yes.
Wes Anderson. Which, if we're gonna do, we should do like a parody of Wes Anderson one day, and just like sit. You have to sit dead center to your camera, and you just stand there. Do not, and you just deliver as dryly as you can and factually as you can. So we have to really probably have to rehearse this a little bit, but we'll do Wes one of these days, especially Steve Zissou, because that's a phenomenal film. So Bill Murray is playing Weatherman. He is the Weatherman. He is the guy from Philadelphia, and he is all about pushing ahead in his career. He's kind of a jackass. He's Bill Murray, basically.
Yeah, I saw a thing too where when they were filming, they would be talking about stuff, and Harold would be trying to give Bill Yeah, I'm on first name basis. I just don't want to keep saying the wrong last name if
Right, I
I'm
get you.
pronouncing
I
it
get
wrong.
you.
I'm gonna go with Raimi and just stick with it. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, Ramus. But he would ask him, like, he would be breaking it down and say, okay, so Phil Connors, his character in the movie, would be, we want Phil to be like this, and he would stop him and say, whoa. Good Phil or bad Phil?
Yeah. Okay.
Just tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Good Phil or bad Phil? And it's totally true. Like, there's a lot of debate on how long he spends in Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
In this movie.
I've heard a couple of years. I've heard 10 years.
At least.
Yeah.
So what Harold Ramis says is it's at least 30 to 35 years.
No.
Because he becomes a master piano player.
Yeah.
He can carve ice sculptures with a chainsaw that are like her face
He
is
can
perfect.
sculpt snow
Yeah.
into her face.
That's
yes,
what I'm saying.
that's
The ice
right.
sculpture. He's
Yeah.
doing the ice sculpture of her face.
And he's been all over that town.
Well, he knows
when that
everybody's
kid-
backstory.
He knows when that kid's going to fall out of the tree.
Yeah.
He knows, like...
The second the flat tire
Yeah.
happens, he's there with the jack.
When to steal the money out
Well,
of the back
that's
of the
the thing
out of
with the
truck.
money. He's
Yeah.
like, 3, 2, car.
This was a joy to do because this was one of those movies that I could keep, like, I could go home and watch this movie tonight.
I had a bad one. Sorry.
Did you guys hear that wolf?
I had
that was over
a
there?
bubble gut.
Grilled,
It got stuck
angry.
under my
Hot
chest.
snakes and bubble gut.
Ooh. Spicy.
Ooh.
Sounds like my honeymoon.
That does not sound like a good time.
Let me tell you, when you go to Costa Rica, just lick everything. It's just,
No.
no. Drink the jacuzzi water. It's fresh.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing
that.
I'm not going to do that.
It's really funny. My boss one time, we were talking about going on a cruise, and I'm like, oh man, you see those pictures? Like the jacuzzi? And my boss was like, I'm not going in a jacuzzi on a cruise ship.
God,
And I was like,
no.
because I had never been on a cruise. And he was like, yeah, those like ads and stuff, that's not how it is. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think about all the people. And he said, yeah, it's like people soup in those jacuzzis. I don't even want to go in the pool on it. I'm like, oh, yep, that's true. And when I went on a cruise,
People soup.
yeah, the way he said it, and the like disgust, like it was like his skin was writhing on his body. It's like people soup. And then when I got on the cruise ship, and the ship wasn't even that packed, and it was a smaller ship, just looking around, thinking, it is like people soup. I'm not doing
Sardines
that.
in a
This
can.
whole thing.
And then we drank way too many sugary drinks, and
Yes.
and
Throw up all
our
over the
room
place.
wasn't like didn't have a window, so it was lower in the ship.
Yeah.
And I guess not being able to see the movement, and it was like I was mildly sick, but not like seasick,
Yeah.
but just like my stomach was uncomfortable. Like, oh, dude, you're not happy right now, and I'm like, oh no,
people
this is.
soup
I'm
going
trying
on
to
your
have.
stomach.
I'm having super fun, but this is not comfortable.
Yeah.
But when we would go up onto the deck of the ship, I'd start to feel better again. I think it was a combination of the slight movement and just way too many Bahama Mamas. All that sugar.
This is uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Oh, steer this thing in a good iceberg. I don't want to limp away from this one here.
Oh, I was doing the Austin Powers 3 where he's like,
Yes, yeah.
Mini-me, slide down the bench. And then he's like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
Oh man, so Bill Murray every year he does the
name's
weather report,
Phil.
and he's going to see Punxsutawney Phil with Phil.
Yeah,
Phil
Phil
Connors.
Groundhog's name is Phil.
Phil, and it's like Phil, like the
Phil
groundhog.
Connors from Philadelphia going to see Phil in Punxsutawney.
See, I
Punxsutawney.
did not put all that together. My God, Phil from Phil going to see Phil for Phil time, just to fill time
For Phil time.
to fill time
To Phil to
Go
fish.
Phil to
Yes, Phil to fish. Yeah, so he's not super excited about it. He's definitely like he says he's ready to move up and go to another big network, and he's totally like
When they first bring it up on the air, he's like, tomorrow I'll be broadcasting live
Yes.
from the Groundhog in Punxsutawney, and the anchor says, "That was like this is 3 years in a row for you, Phil." He's like, four. Blah blah, whatever her name is, blah blah.
it's 4.
It's 4. And then she's like, "Oh, it's so beautiful there. You must love it." And he's like, "Sure, hairdo." Just showing you how disrespectful and like rude he is to people.
He does do a great bit in the beginning with the weather report when he's like, and then we got all this moisture coming up here, and look at this, and he stands there and he goes,
Yeah.
and he blows the graph of the clouds across the United States. But I mean,
Well, that's like when you meet Rita's character and she's just standing in her blue dress in front of the blue
blue
she's
screen.
just like a severed head, like
With hands. Yeah, there's just floating
I was
hands.
thinking of Anchorman 2, where they're like, my legs are gone. Steve Carell does that, and he's in blue or green pants.
Well, it reminds me of like during the pandemic, me and my wife like watched like every Dude Perfect video that there was.
Oh yeah.
And there's one where they were like pitching their mobile game, and this guy Garrett, who always wears purple, he's like, editors called me up last night and said, just be here at 9 and don't wear green. Guess what I did? And he's just a head.
It just shows up wearing green. Guess what I did? Yeah, that's great. Oh my god. I was thinking when you said I watched every episode of Dude Perfect, it said, some people read.
Yeah. But you had to have books in your apartment.
No, I'm joking. I'm sorry. Oh, because I didn't do
like
it.
Dude
I did
Perfect.
nothing productive during the
I was gonna
pandemic.
go. I was gonna go with like a buddy of mine's son to like their live show, but it got canceled because of COVID.
Oh,
That sucks.
that does suck.
When I
dude.
got COVID, I watched every Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Hulk
there's some of those
From
you don't.
Hulk to
some of those you don't-
Endgame, all in chronological order. The way like if you go by the
Yeah.
time, the way it's supposed to
Yeah,
happen.
sometimes there's
So
some of those.
it
you don't
starts
need to
with
see.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Is it Captain Marvel or Captain America? Is it start with Captain America first?
Captain America would be first.
And then it would
Yeah,
be-
I was gonna say there's no way Captain Marvel's older than Captain.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's all on Reddit. You can go by there.
So speaking of the Marvel movies, real quick, me and this guy at work, shout out to Mike.
Hi, Mike.
what up, Mike?
We've been playing this game where he walks up with like the next released Marvel movie, and he's like, "Think about your favorite quote from that movie. I'll be right back." Like he'll walk away and then come back.
Come back to ask you about your
Yeah, like,
favorite
what's your
quote?
favorite quote
Okay.
from that movie?
Captain America. Let's see. What is it?
Oh man, Captain America.
We can come back.
Oh, my favorite one from Captain America is when he's explaining the super soldier serum, and he's like, "Good becomes great, bad becomes worse." And they go to cheers. He's like, "You can't drink tomorrow. You have procedure. You can't." Oh yeah, takes the booze back.
And it's Stanley Tucci being the best. Stanley Tucci's amazing. Again, he's like John Lovitz. John Lovitz and Stanley Tucci. You put them in anything, they're perfect.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Whatever they're doing, it's perfect. Like Danny is too. So we have to acknowledge Danny DeVito as well.
And his giant hand.
And his giant hand. I
It's
don't
forced
know
perspective.
Why? I just realized that we can
can't
set
get
up.
over it.
We can set up an Amazon shop that's Nostalgialand that
Well,
people
get
can
'em.
buy the things that we like and enjoy off Amazon, and we get a little affiliate link. Supports the show. I'm gonna find Danny. I'm gonna put him in there.
Hell yeah.
So if you
Put
want
Bowser on there.
life-size Danny DeVito, Bowser in the back over there, or there's Seen It, Smartass, Heads Up. Categories.
Bible.
A couple of TIE Fighter. See some of those. Some of the other things around. We're gonna find this stuff. We're
Hey,
gonna
look.
put on our shop.
There's the
There's
doctor.
Harold Ramis.
There's
Ramis.
Harold Ramis. So he goes to Punxsutawney. He does his report. He's already being a prima donna. He's like, I'm not staying in the shithole hotel, which is like the Pennsylvania hotel.
Yeah, they
or
made him
something.
get the bed and breakfast or whatever.
Which it's like the debate of it is, where does the curse happen? Is it that he goes into? So there's a lot of theories behind it. And I would love to share them out, but we'll just go through plot now. But so he gets there. He goes through his normal day. He meets Ned Niedermeyer. Is that right? Ryerson. Ned Ryerson. Ryerson. Ned the head, the needlehead or something.
I had to do it. I looked it up. Ramis. Trey was right.
Ramis. Okay, Harold Ramis.
Why didn't I do that forever ago? So I
No, 'cause-
stopped sounding like a
Well,
jackass.
the only reason I thought it was Ramis is because I thought you were thinking of Sam Raimi, who's also a director.
That's the guy, Sam Raimi.
He does the Spider-Man movies.
Yes, and now his daughter is a director or something recently, and his directing something
But
for Marvel.
I
think.
wasn't like 100%, so I was like, maybe I'm wrong.
You know what? Shoot your shot. You got it. I mean, just put it out there.
You got it.
Yeah.
Pull it up.
Pull up. The whispering in that we're gonna talk about that later.
Yep.
So he goes through his whole day, and it's just kind of, he's just trying to get out, and all of a sudden, as they're on their way out of Punxsutawney, they get hit by the blizzard and they have to turn back.
That he was
So-
sure was not going to
Yeah.
hit them.
Yeah, the whole
As the
time.
weatherman.
And it's brilliant how it starts out
How's that
so
priority?
slow. It starts out so slow.
Well, it's like his 4th year in a row doing it, so he's
Yeah.
like phoning it in. Like he doesn't really care.
Just whatever. But he goes back to the day ends. He goes back to the Airbnb, the bed and breakfast.
First, they go to the bar.
The
Yeah.
B&B.
Go to the bar. They go to the B&B. He goes to bed. He wakes up the next morning, and the same song is playing on the radio, and that's how we know. Every time 6 a.m. comes around, it's playing. Just put your little hand in mine.
It's Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
There ain't no, it's Sonny and Cher.
Sonny and Cher, yeah.
He kind of sounds like Bob Dylan.
He does.
Babe.
Bam, 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 bam.
I got you, babe.
Bam, bam, bam,
I got you, babe. Sonny D.
Sonny and Cher.
Yes, that's where I was going. Thank you.
Sonny and Cher and
Damn
vodka
it.
seltzers.
You got me. Sonny D. Vodka Share Seltzers. Oh.
Vodka Cher, sir.
Sonny D. If you're listening, you should totally call these Sonny D and Share. Oh.
You reminded me of the
Cher.
hammerhead shark from that.
Share a Sonny D. The hammerhead shark. What?
No.
God, I hope people have to pull over for the laughing at that one. So that'd be good. Anyway, so he wakes up and it's like this really great deja vu where he's just like, way to go, boys. You're playing the same tape from yesterday. And he's just kind of looking around. It's like nothing's like out of normal, but people start asking him the same questions. He meets
When he
the
looks,
guy in the
when he
hallway.
looks out the window,
Yeah,
the same stuff is happening.
People are walking down the street and the same snow patches are there. Which
That's one of the inconsistencies in the movie.
Oh, really?
If you look for them, there where the same cars are turning in the same, and the people are walking, but it's a different place in the track that's playing. Like the guy's talking.
Oh, yeah, there was. My wife didn't notice. He's like, but the timing of that.
It's
Some
really
things.
bright at 6 a.m. in Punxsutawney.
Well, they covered that because
Oh.
the at 6 a.m. it would still be dark. 7:30 is when the sunrise would have happened.
Yeah.
Like I guess if you look back at the chronological like actual time, but they of course decided like
We
it
gotta be
makes
able
for
to
a
see.
better scene
Yeah, we
to
gotta be able
look
to
out
see.
onto a lit street than on look out in the dark.
Because man, I tell you, the winters up in the Northeast, dude, it's just dark.
Where'd the sun go?
Yeah, there's no sun. The sun doesn't exist, and this is hell.
It's like, have you seen that? This is all totally off topic, but you made me think of it. There's the people that believe that the Earth is flat,
Right.
And there's a dude that's like, okay, come with me to the Arctic. Come with me, and they're like, okay. He's like, I'll prove it to you. There's like, there's no place on Earth where the sun is perpetually up because it's flat. And he's like, no, okay, come on. So he takes them down, and
No,
for
okay.
24 hours they watch the sun just go around in the sky like this, and they're like, damn it.
I don't want to alienate those people because there might be a lot of them who are listeners. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying what crowd we get. But
You can go with him; he'll take you.
there was another one that was like on HD or not HD History Channel because History Channel. Fuck it, no more history.
The dude
He
that spent
cuts-
all the money,
Yes, he spent a ton of money, but then also he's like, okay, you cut 2 holes in through.
like far away.
Yeah, at 17 feet, and you put them like 70 feet away or something like that. It's a ratio.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you shine the light, the light should go straight through if
Yeah,
the earth is flat.
The curvature of the Earth, or
If
whatever.
it curves, you have to hold the flashlight above. And he's like, well, not seeing the light. And he radios the guy, hold the light above your head. And then the light immediately pops up and he goes, that's...
yeah, dude. It's the biggest like kick in the nuts for this guy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Ain't
And
that a
to
kick
his
in the head?
to his credit, he's like, that was wrong. Like, crap.
It's okay to be wrong.
And he spent like $20,000
Yes, he
to
did.
be wrong about
okay.
something we've known since Galileo walked the Earth.
You don't need to tell him that. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's everyone's right to admit to be wrong and then to admit that they were wrong.
Well, and
We're all
you've got to
growing.
apply people that challenge theories. Like,
I love people that challenge
It's science.
theories. Yes.
Maybe don't
Let's not get
waste
into
20
that.
grand.
Yeah.
I really got to take the board home and add that to the because that is too good.
I know it's kind of fun that when we just do
Just
it,
humming it.
and it's an easy one to hum.
Oh, it is. You're right. It was like if we had to hum the Home Alone theme song.
Dum, dum.
So Phil wakes up and he's reliving the same day. Take a second.
And like when he's first doing it, he just does like a whole bunch of selfish crap.
Yeah.
Like he like gets his buddies really drunk and like runs from the police. And
Oh, I loved that scene.
like they run on the railroad track and he's, but you know he Like, and then finally he starts to realize, like, she says to him, she's like, oh, is this how you're spending eternity? Like, on the day that he gets her to believe it, like, he gets Rita to believe that he's living the same day. She's like, oh, this is what you're doing with eternity? And he's like, oh, man.
Yeah, because they keep bringing that up at the beginning where he's like, well, you could see this glass as half full or half empty. And he's like, I think you, Phil, are a half empty person because you do. I want to talk a little philosophically about that of like if you were reliving little Phil, it's another Phil.
See what you're doing there.
God,
Phil
so
Dunphy.
if you had another Phil, sorry, I want to talk about the philosophy of Phil. If you were living every single day for a while and there's no particular reason. And like there's no that's the thing about this, like I totally forgot, like there's no like Zoltar. He doesn't throw a quarter into a unplugged machine at a carnival and wish to be big or to repeat the same day over again. Nothing happens.
No,
technically
he just wakes up.
He just wakes up and it's the same day every single day. So I gotta say, like, I mean, I definitely, one of the things I would have done, I would have finally learned how to play piano and read sheet music. I would love to have years of doing that. I don't know how for long.
That's another theory that people have is that he relives the same day for like 10,000 years.
No, 10,000 years.
Yeah, like they say it's because like he knows the details, the background of like every person in the town.
Yeah,
it's not just Rita and Nancy, the girl that he sleeps with by like.
Oh, yeah. The girl from Pittsburgh.
What's your name? Nancy?
Pittsburgh.
Nancy Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You're just going on and on.
Who's your high school English teacher?
Yeah. What high school did you go to?
Johnson.
What year did you graduate?
Walsh.
And she's trying to, do I know? And he's just peppering her questions, not letting her talk, not answering her at all, not acknowledging what she's saying at all.
This is a good scene when he orders like everying on the menu.
Oh,
and she's like, this is how you spend your advancing years. And he's like, my years aren't advancing as quick as you might think.
Kind of stuck.
We call that dramatic irony.
One, yes. No, but I mean, he does. He kind of becomes omnipotent. Like he knows everything. He does become
to the point when Trey, like the scene where Trey is talking about that comes later, where he's trying to convince her
that he's
reliving the same day over and over again. He knows every instance in the diner down to the second. The busboy is going to drop a tray of dishes in 5, 4, 3, 2,
boom,
and it crashes the tray. And it's just like, how long would you have to go through to know every second of that day?
I like the one that he like rattles off in the diner. There's a few good ones, but my favorite one that he rattles off, he's like, This is Jim. He still lives in his parents' basement. He's gay and he paints model army men. He's like, he's right.
Yeah. He's like, I am.
He doesn't even fight it. He's like,
yeah. All right. Somebody knows. Great. Well, like the whole. So I've heard theory after theory, and basically like it becomes this becomes like the growth of Phil, in his character and his nature as a person. Because it would take, 30 years or 10,000 years, however long he's been doing it. Like it's basically his own purgatory of growth.
Sure.
So watching it though, you see one person consistently showing up outside of the timeline of where they should be, and that's Ned Ryerson. And so one of the theories that I heard about, I was like, is that Ned is the devil or Satan.
It's like a cat's paw wish scenario.
Well, because he shows up and he's like Ned Ryerson, and he doesn't remember him from high school, but that he dated his sister. He dated Phil Connor's sister, and until Phil told him to stop. So basically, the theory is that Ned really loved Phil's sister, but Phil threatened him when they were in high school not to date her anymore. And so he's holding this grudge. And so now what does he do? He sells insurance, specifically life insurance and all these other insurance policies. So the theory is that Ned Ryerson is a demon or a devil what's the most useless thing you can have if you're reliving every day, no matter how you die or whatever, you wake up in your bed at 6 a.m., life insurance. So until Phil at the end of the movie buys all of Ned's policies, everything, and like makes his year, like banks out that, death, life, accidental, home, boat, flood, fire, every kind of insurance that Ned has to offer is when Ned lets him go so that
That
he
is
can
funny.
actually go
Because
live
it's the next when he wakes up.
So then he would live his life, and then all those insurance policies Ned would cash out on
It's a funny theory.
because he gets to live the next
Oh, that's
day.
way more complicated than I thought it was.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. So Ned is this demonic salesman who does this. The theory is that he does this to everybody in town, but no one's aware of each other, and he does it until they buy his policies. And he's just walking around because he shows up in the most random places and then tries, you assume that he's trying to sell people something.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, like the monkey's paw or like the devil's like
The cat's
trick
paw,
of like, the cat's paw, monkey's paw, whatever it was. But yeah,
Maybe
so
it's
that's one of the theories. So thank you for letting me go
I think
on
it's
that
the
rant.
cat's meow.
This rant was brought to you
bee's
by
knees.
Sunny D.
Cat's pajamas, man.
It's
Bees knees.
pajamas.
Did you hear about the
Sneeze?
twist ending
No, what was
that they
that one?
took out? When he wakes up, Andy McDowell's Rita character is like, oh my God, it's the next day. And she's been living Groundhog Day over and over and over again as well.
Yeah.
The whole time that he was.
Oh my God. Wait.
Not the same day that he was living, but she was living her own Groundhog Day over and over and over again at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, so in his reality, she's doing the same thing over and over, but she was also in Phil's shoes in her own Groundhog Day.
That would be really interesting because it does make sense how she suddenly falls in love with him, like within a matter of like 6 hours or like 12 hours.
He's the magic man at that point.
Yeah.
He knows every detail of her life.
Yeah.
But it's kind of what they do where he has to become that man.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
not
like I thought he escaped the loop because it was about self-improvement. Like he started helping other people.
Well, not only that, but I think personally, I think that the movie tends to be about Rita and his relationship with her.
Right.
And that's what it's all about is you are such a shitty person that you'll never have a chance to get with this woman. So you're stuck in this day where you can do all that you want, but until you figure out how to become the man that is worthy of being with this person that you're meant to be with, you will relive this day for all of these years, for all of these eternities.
So that's like that's one of the things that I thought was really interesting is because he suddenly like there's not really a big switch. It's just all of a sudden when he's with Nancy and they're getting hot and heavy in bed, he keeps saying Rita. And like it was kind of like a little. I was like, wait, but did he express any interest in Rita? And then all of a sudden he's just can't get Nancy's or Rita's name out of his head, and he's just constantly like or fantasizing about Rita.
Yeah.
But you're right because it doesn't turn into like, oh, this guy just knows a lot of facts about me, and I'm going to fall in love with him in that way.
Right.
He has to. You have to right. He has to embody the person the man that Rita would want to be with, in the betterment of Phil. But one of the things I love is he starts testing those waters, right?
Yeah.
He starts figuring out, okay, what do I need to know about Rita in order to
He learns her favorite
do
drink.
there.
He
So,
learns like her food order.
It was sweet vermouth on the rocks
with a twist.
With a
It reminds her
twist.
of Rome.
Yes.
The way the sun sets on the villas.
buildings, yes, on the buildings, and he's like, "What are we toasting to?" And he says something like,
prosperity and wealth, and she's like, "Oh, I always drink to world peace."
Well,
That's
it's
it.
not.
Yes.
It's not just that she says that. It's the way she says it. She's so disgusted.
"Yeah, like
I always. She turns her head away and kind of gives that side eye and says,
Yeah.
I always drink to world peace."
Let's
Like,
drink to-
okay, you jackass.
all right."
It's not like I said to the death of all people. Like, you know what I mean?
I just said to prosperity and happiness. What are you talking like? But it's great because then he shows up again next day or the same day at the bar, tries again, and he goes, "I always say a little prayer and drink to world peace." And so you see him, they toast, and then he does that little pause and goes,
Amen.
"Amen."
My favorite is the first time he orders the same thing as her, though. He's like, sweet vermouth on the rock with a twist. She's like, that's my drink. Mine too. And like they toast it. He drinks it. And he's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like,
This is disgusting.
I've actually never had sweet vermouth. I've
You know
never done
why?
a martini.
You know why?
Because it's gross.
Because it's disgusting. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
It's unlike Sunny D vodka seltzers, which are
Extremely
delicious.
Could you imagine? You go to the
and
bar with Rita.
easy. Yes.
What are you having? Sunny D vodka seltzer on the rocks.
You know what?
With a twist.
Here's
a
what I want
twist.
you
A
to
little
do.
orange rind.
Take the twist out.
It's 1993. Pour me some Sunny D, little
a swizzle
vodka,
stick.
put some seltzer water in there. We're cooking, baby. Cooking.
See this swizzle stick?
It's going to go right up your pee hole.
I'm gonna shove it right up your pee hole.
You said $10.
$11.50.
I'm going to go work out your tip.
I'm gonna go wash up.
I want to get a watch.
Oh man. But he's learning. So he's learning the town. He's learning about everybody. He's bettering himself. He picks up French. Like he learns that Rita studied French poetry. And his first reaction in college is like, what a waste of time. Yes.
She's like, oh, not for you. For somebody who's not as smart.
Yeah.
Shit.
And he gets back there and he starts just saying it in French, and I was like, he's pretty good. I mean, like, I cannot do a French accent for the life of me. Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's Wario.
It's fine.
There's a little bit of Borat in there too. Wow, my neighbor cannot afford.
Look at me, have a chair. King of the castle.
King of the castle.
This is you. Pain in my assholes.
Pain in my assholes.
I get the window with the glass. He get the window with the glass.
Borat is old enough.
I get the step.
That we could cover it.
For us
He
to
gets
do
a
Borat.
step.
I don't want to watch that dude run around naked though.
I get collect radio. He cannot afford. Great success.
Great success.
I mean, how many times did you say, "This is my sister, number 4 prostitute"? in all of Cash's-
Mine was more, I like you, how much?
Very nice.
Or high five.
I would walk around and be like, "This is my sister," and just say just that, and people would just like, "I know,
Yeah.
I know."
Yeah.
He will never get this.
You'll never get this.
I love
then
when
one
he
day
goes
you
to his
break out.
first piano lesson and he's
Yeah.
like, I really wanted to get started. I'll give you $1,000.
Well, she brings. I love how they do it though. She brings him in the house, and then the door closes, and a few seconds later, they just leave it on the front door, and then you hear him start to play, and the door opens back up, and the girl like obviously gets like pushed out onto the front porch.
She like almost starts crying as she walks home. I'm like, oh, I feel bad for that girl now.
Well, because he was like,
That's only one day of her life.
she was like, she was like,
Or 1,000.
Yeah,
She'll never remember it though.
unless she's
As
being
soon as it
Groundhog.
hits 6 o'clock,
Well, she's not old enough to buy insurance yet, so
Yeah,
her
so
curse
her curse is on somebody
hasn't
else's curse.
started yet. Yeah.
you got to get to Bill Murray's age.
Yeah,
Phil's
but
age.
It's hilarious how Bill like walks in and she's like, "Well, I have a student right now. Like, do you want to come back tomorrow?" And he's like, "I'll give you $1,000." And she's like, "Well, okay."
Like, yeah.
yeah.
But
I
I
mean,
tell the little girl, like, he's paid me $1,000.
yeah, dude, listen.
When he sits down later and he's playing all beautifully.
I've never
She
had a
says,
lesson.
Are you sure that you said this is your first lesson? Yes, my father was a piano mover.
So some of the skills are transferable.
And the way he said it too, like, my father was a piano mover.
So naturally,
Naturally, you know.
Chip, chop, chip.
yeah. Chip.
Chip, chop, chip.
He does a great.
I don't even know what that means.
In part of his betterment, he does a great like speech in front of Punxsutawney Phil and his whole thing about
I
life
think that's
and
the
death.
day
and-
that he, like, breaks it.
Yeah, is that the
Yeah.
one where it's like he finally like just like does his absolute best throughout the whole day, like
Where
and then-
everyone's like crowded around watching him do the broadcast.
And,
And-
like, people are crying.
Yeah. And she is like, great job, Phil.
Yeah, where he's like, and if he does come out and see a shadow, I couldn't think of a better fate than a long, cold winter here in Punxsutawney. Signing off, and everybody's like,
You know, if you go, they filmed the movie in Woodstock. They were gonna film it in Punxsutawney, but
Yeah.
they figured Woodstock had the more of the town look
Like the
that they were
pleasant-
going
yeah, the
for.
little town square area. Yeah,
And so when they do the Groundhog, they do it with Punxsutawney Phil, but they do it out in the woods because
Oh,
the
okay.
Groundhog like comes out of his hole, and they see a shadow or not, and then they decided that they wanted to do it at Gobbler's knob.
yeah, what the balls? Who names
Good old
their
Gobbler's
park?
Knob.
Hey, I'm gonna go on down to Gobbler's Knob. Do some ice sculpting. Am I supposed to sculpt in the penis?
am I supposed to sculpt the penis? Good old Family Guy.
That's one of my favorite Family Guy bits. It's one of the best.
It's like, am I supposed to?
Am I supposed to draw the
I
penis?
tried being an artist. Am I supposed to draw the penis? And then I tried sculpting. Am I supposed to sculpt the penis? And then I tried being a conductor. Am I supposed to conduct
Conduct
my
with the
penis?
Jeez, dude.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Gobbler's Knob is definitely a choice, and that's definitely
That's
a choice
it's
to
a
carry.
name. It's a name.
Yeah, that's definitely a choice to carry on to 1993. I
Yeah.
feel like someone in the 80s should be like, "Hey, maybe we change the name
To like Gobbler's
corner
Point
or point.
something
Yeah,
like-
square, Gobbler's square. I don't know. That doesn't sound much
Goober's
better.
Gobbler. I don't know.
Or Frumpus. That's it. We'll call it Frumpus. Frumpus land. But no, I just like, yeah, that definitely stuck out to me as like, yeah, that's a choice. One of the funnier bits though is I think he gets really just depressed and angry, and there's just one of the times where he goes and he grabs the
He
woodchuck.
kidnaps the groundhog.
Yeah, he kidnaps the groundhog and he starts driving with
hognaps
it.
the groundhog.
He starts driving off in the truck, and it's hilarious because he's like, he has the groundhog up in his lap, and he's like telling it a pointer. He's like, 10 and 2, bud. You want to check your mirrors? Just give me a quick look.
No, side
Side of your eye.
Side of your eye. Side of your eye. Don't drive
Didn't
angry.
he get-
The famous line, "Don't drive angry."
Yeah.
"Don't drive angry" is ad-libbed by Bill Murray because it was a real groundhog.
Didn't he get bit?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, the groundhog hated him. Yeah, like literally hated him.
Because it's like this movie's called Groundhog Day, and
Yeah.
it's not about me.
But he's holding him in his lap, and the groundhog was trying to climb over the steering wheel to get away from Bill, and that's when he came up with "Don't drive angry." And then, like 20 years later or whatever, or years later, the Nicolas Cage movie came out with the name "Drive Angry," and it's from that line
That's
that he
funny.
ad-libbed. Yeah, that's where he got the idea from it.
Drive angry.
Yeah.
Don't drive angry. Don't drive angry. Hey, he's like getting and the thing's squealing.
Dude,
out.
and I
It's like-
love the way that truck looks from the back.
Yeah.
And the way it sounds is so awesome. And then it you see it from the front. I'm like, oh,
That's not what I expected.
still kind of cool, but
Well,
not quite as cool.
They
I
chase
like,
him into
I like it better
the-
going than coming into the quarry.
They chase him into the quarry. Don't spit in the quarry.
Yeah, chase him into the quarry. They're like, "There's no way out."
Yeah.
And it's his brother, the mayor.
Yeah, and he's like, "You ready?" And the groundhog sits on the chair.
Yeah,
and
he's
he's
like, "Ruh." This groundhog is like, this thing's out of his mind.
and so
Dude.
they're Rita and what's his name?
Oh yeah, the
Larry?
cameraman,
Larry,
Larry.
thank
Yes,
you.
Larry.
Go in the van, Larry.
Yeah, are filming him. Because they're like, oh, he's lost it, and Larry's like, yeah, this is good content.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
And
Influencer
so
before
he drives
influencers.
off the cliff into the quarry, and
Dude, he falls
so far,
200 feet
Yeah.
And then the
onto the
roof of the truck, and the best is she's like, "Oh no, Phil!" And he's like, "He might still be alive." And then the truck goes up in flames, and he just wants to go "Not now!"
Yeah.
Like,
the most massive explosion.
Yeah, no,
not
it's-
just the flames.
Larry's like, first he's like looking out, and then when it explodes, he goes, "Oh, okay." And he puts the camera
Yeah, right
back to the aisle. I was like, I gotta make sure I get that.
Because Phil's such a piece of shit to the whole movie.
He was,
The
yeah.
first scene when you meet him, when they're in the station and he does the weather
Yeah.
and they talk about going to Punxsutawney. Phil comes over and Larry's talking with him and he makes some joke at Phil's expense and he says, Go wait in the van, Larry."
go in the fan.
And the way he just dismisses him is so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
So there's a baseball term that this guy that his name's Trevor May. He was a relief pitcher, and one of his favorite baseballisms is wait in the truck. And he's like, what? And he's like, for all you non-baseball people, that's like if somebody strikes out 3 times in a day, and or if you strike somebody out a bunch of times and you say, go wait in the truck because I'm your dad, and you're gonna go wait in the truck.
It's ice cold.
So he's like, we used to tell that to people all the time. They'd strike somebody out, he'd be like, get in the trunk. Because you struck out 3 times, so you don't even get to ride in the truck. You gotta ride in the trunk.
I haven't seen the coach on Instagram in a while, but he's like the insulta coach. I don't know what he does,
He
but
comes out to the mound.
comes out of the mountain. He's like, "Hey, buddy, how big is the bus that takes you to school, picks you up for school? Is it like a normal size bus, or is it real short, real tiny? What do you think?" And just call this kid.
I didn't know if you were a disappointment to your dad, but now I'm sure. Or when he comes out, he's like, "Now I know why your dad left."
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Oh,
Like just
that's it, yeah.
terrible stuff. That he
He's
says.
like, my dog took a big pile this morning, and it looked better than what I just saw out here on this
So
field.
funny.
What you just did out here on this field. Oh Lord. Okay, so any other best bits from this? Because like he keeps reliving, and like I said, he gets to the end where he's just this better person.
Yeah, but one of my best bits from this is the couple you meet them earlier when he's trying to convince Rita that he's a god, and he's like, this couple, they're gonna get married, but she's having cold feet. And
Yeah.
like they get in the big argument, and they presumably like break up over it, and then you meet them. You're basically meeting everybody that he's helped at the party.
Oh, that's right.
The
Yeah.
big
At the
so like the mayor, he saved him from choking in the steakhouse.
That's Brian Doyle Murray. That's his brother.
Yeah.
Doyle.
And so his wife is like super happy and all this stuff, and then you get the couple that comes up to him and they're like, Phil, and he's like, oh hey, you crazy kids, hey, thanks for talking her into it. And he's like, oh, by the way, for your wedding present. And they both look at each other and they're like, WrestleMania.
We're gonna be in Pittsburgh anyway. Oh
Yep.
shit! What do we got
Speaking
here?
of, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, Nostalgialand, to one of our best co-hosts, one of our best. Happy birthday to you. If you want to open that up on air.
Thank you.
Special gift, turning 38 again for the fourth time.
I'm 100. Oh,
You need to realize what that is,
Yeah,
actually. It is not just the belt.
It's a fanny pack.
It's a fanny pack cooler.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You could put 6 packs of soda.
Soda or Sunny D in there.
This thing says 4 cans max capacity. It doesn't know me.
I'm really good at Tetris.
I'm
That's crazy.
getting crunk today.
All right, hold on.
So you wear the belt.
The crazy part about if WrestleMania, while Tyler puts on the cooler,
Yeah.
about
Sorry
WrestleMania
for the
being
crotch
in
shot.
Pittsburgh, you know what WrestleMania that would be?
Which one?
One.
Oh, that'd be the WrestleMania that they're
WrestleMania.
excited about. It's the very first one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got it in what I thought would be the size. It came
think
in
it's
one
plenty
size.
big enough.
Yeah.
If anything, he's making it smaller.
Yeah. Tighten it up. Yeah. Get it.
My time is John Cena. My time is up. My time is now. Can't see me. My time is now.
You can store your yes, thank you. Yes.
These were getting warm
It's
now.
getting a little too warm. Yeah, thank you, Igloo, for creating a completely amazing product that I don't think anyone would have asked for in 1,000 years, but they had a thought.
There we go.
Boom.
Winner, chicken dinner. Thank you, sir. We're gonna go to the bar.
The champ is here.
Like, oh, dude, John Cena came.
But I couldn't see.
Nope, couldn't see
We're
him.
going to the bar. That's amazing, dude. I loved that thing. When I saw it, I was like, that's fucking.
That's hysterical.
I did a
That's
little
it.
bit. I did a little bit of research on this movie. Normally, I'm not the research guy, but
Yeah, what'd you find?
that there was like a cut scene of like why he was stuck in Groundhog Day. That like he had an ex-girlfriend that cursed him.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
it was an
super
ex.
weird.
See, that's what I was kind of waiting
Glad.
for at the beginning. Was like somebody like lighting candles and like cursing an elevator to fall at on the stroke of midnight on October 31st, 1922. Tower of Terror reference.
We've done that movie.
Oh, we did, yeah. Now that you mention it, but no, that's the thing. Is like it's just happening. It just happens. But he does get depressed.
Oh yeah, he tries to kill himself in many different ways.
Yeah, well, he unalives
Kills
himself.
Oh,
can't-
yeah, you can't say that.
in a lot of ways.
He deleted.
Yeah, he deletes himself in quite a few ways.
Like that.
He removes himself from the equation.
Yes, but honestly, it's
Restricting
like
Jack Daniels right out
experimental.
of the
Oh,
bottle.
and that's when he's acing Jeopardy, and those old people are like, "Whoa, dude!"
They're like
Well,
clapping.
he knows the answer to the question
Well,
instantaneously.
the best is
Doesn't
when
even have
he's
to think
eating
about
the
it.
popcorn, and he looks back at the lady, and he's like, "What is Titicaca?"
just drinking that Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker. It looked like a Johnny Walker bottle.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, dude. But honestly, I was thinking about it. Like, okay, I would totally do like a day of like, I'm going to try everything, like to see if I can get out of this reality. But then the rest of my days, like, I'm just going to try everything. Let's just see how this works. But apparently there was like a super dark script where he like went on like murderous rampages.
psychopathic stuff. Yeah.
And they were like,
I don't know. Yeah, there was the time where Raimi and Ramis and the writer sat around really exploring the darker things that he could do and get away with.
Yeah.
But they decided
Not to.
Let's make it a little more family friendly.
It's
here.
just a little too far. And it'd be hard to bring him back from like, oh yeah, one day he decided to walk into that diner and just blow everyone away for no reason.
And then
Like,
the next morning, Doris is right back with her wanting to see Paris before she died.
I do.
I do, yes. Or the Irish girl, the woman, the little lady was like, she was born in Ireland. She was brought here when she was a baby.
He's right.
He's right. And that's it, dude. I loved how all those characters were just totally like not freaked out a little bit by it, because that makes me feel like they're a part of the world.
They're in on it.
They're in on it, yes. And like maybe Ned has like
Yeah.
maybe Ned has like convinced him of like, you're gonna be in this too.
Ned's the
You can
agent
never
that's
tell him.
changing the Matrix.
Right.
And you know the guy that was the recipient of the WrestleMania tickets? That's Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
It's his first role.
Michael Shannon.
Yeah, this guy.
Oh, he plays bad guys in a lot of stuff. And he plays
Yeah, he's been in a ton of
the
stuff. He's
soldier.
awesome.
He plays Dean in My Dog Skip.
He's awesome.
That's another great movie.
There's a poll right there.
We need to go to My Dog Skip. Wait,
Frankie Nunez.
wait. Okay, no, oh, wait, I'm on the wrong movie, because I was like, hold on. Michael Gambon was in this movie? I was like, there's no way Dumbledore was rolling through this.
He was
James Gandolfini was in this.
He's the bad guy in Man of Steel, the Superman movie.
He's Zod. Yeah.
True.
Zod, yes. I couldn't remember his name. The Shape of Water.
Neo before Zod.
Bullet Train. I never saw Bullet Train. Anybody ever see that?
No.
No,
Is that
I
the
just-
one with, that's the new one with
Is that the level
Brad
from
Pitt?
GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
never
in
seen
8 Mile.
Is that the level from GoldenEye?
There's the show he was in, though. That's so good.
Chris Elliott was who's the cameraman who plays Larry, is in Schitt's Creek and is absolutely hilarious in that. Like one
The
that's one of
Larry, that
funniest
guy,
movies.
what's his name?
Chris Elliott.
Yeah, he's funny.
Dude.
He's in a lot of good stuff.
And he had I think he had a Nickelodeon show there for a while as well. But
Yeah,
he
he seems like a pedophile.
Yeah, he's kinda-
Just kidding. Just kidding.
seems like, yeah, we can't say
Yeah, it's just a joke. It's
Chris,
just
I
a
love
joke.
you. If you ever want to be on this podcast, we'll totally
Oh,
be there.
he's in what's the name? That show that was on HBO? The guy that I was showing you. Oh gosh, the
Game
one
of Thrones.
Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I believe he's on Boardwalk
It's
Empire.
like Game of Thrones. He's the dragon.
Yep, he is. He's awesome in Boardwalk Empire too.
Okay, I need to check that one.
He's
out.
so
I thought
good.
you were going to say he's the dragon from The Hobbit. I was like, no, that was Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Shannon, great actor.
Yeah. Another great like side guy who I was like, wait, this dude's really familiar. So when Bill Murray first wakes up, washes his face, gets dressed, walks down the hallway, and the guy goes, "Going to
fat
see
guy.
the groundhog?"
Yeah.
The fat guy walks up to him, "Going to see the groundhog?"
He's mean as hell to that guy. He
Think we're-
pins him
yeah.
up against the wall.
He's like, thinks we're going to see, thinks you're going to see a shadow or early spring, and he's like, I predict 6 weeks or March 21st. He's like, I think that actually is, and so he's just a jackass to him. He's really mean. That is Ken Hudson Campbell, who played Santa Claus in Home Alone.
Oh yeah,
He's the guy. I was
Oh,
like,
it's like lighting his cigarette.
yeah,
out.
he's like, oh no, I gotta give you something because Santa,
Yes.
everybody gets something when they see Santa, and he gives the kid Tic Tac. Don't let that spoil your dinner. Like I was like, that guy's voice is so familiar, and
That is
thank
funny.
you Amazon Prime for having all of like the X-ray stuff that you can just pause it and be like, who's in this scene right now, and you just look them up and you can see their whole filmography. It is awesome. How he gets around and starts reacting to those people. Yeah, he does the one where he walks out and grabs that guy by the collar, pushes him up against the wall, and it's just like he's so mean.
And then
to
he
him.
does the thing where he's like Italian.
Yes.
yes.
Ciao.
Ciao. And he's like, ciao. Yeah, ciao. Yeah. Or then he sees Ned again, and he walks up to Ned every time and just gives Ned just this big like embrace. And he's like, it is so good to see you. And then holds him again. And he's like, I don't know what you have planned today, but can you cancel it?
I gotta go.
Yeah, and then Ned runs off.
Yeah.
Well, they were gonna film in Punxsutawney, but like I said, the town, and then so they end up filming in Woodstock.
Yeah.
And the spot where he steps off the curb and into the giant pothole full of ice and water, there's a plaque there covering
yeah.
it now that says Bill Murray stepped here. Yeah, they were hoping that a lot of people would drum up a lot of tourism, but
I mean, I would go see the step. I'd go see it.
before the movie. That when they did the Groundhog, there'd be like 2,000 people that would show up.
Yeah.
And after the movie came out, it was like tens of thousands of people would show up to see.
Yeah.
In Punxsutawney.
The ground. Yeah, in Punxsutawney.
Yeah, see, I feel like this movie would drum up tourism for Punxsutawney, not for
Right.
Woodstock, because you don't know.
But Woodstock was hoping because it's filmed there that people would know.
but you got to tell them that it's filmed there. Like,
But no one goes.
yeah,
to
it's
the
like
actual-
nobody knows. They think
Well, and back
they're going.
then there was no internet to go
Yeah.
to
I
look.
miss those days. So you just have to know, like, kind of like
You needed
know?
an encyclopedia.
Yeah, you can only find those in the Baja.
God, dude.
Baja soda.
I only did it so I could get tickets to Ultimate to see the Stones.
Yeah, I was a bouncer.
For the people
I
who
was
don't
this
know,
close
please
to the
just
guy who
give
got
it
stabbed
give
in
a
the-
reference.
Yeah, he was there. He
So-
was there. I was there when when the riots happened, when the Hell's Angels were running security for the Stones.
So
Shut the hell up.
for the folks who don't know, Jesse the Body Ventura went on Theo Vaughn's podcast. Theo Vaughn said 2 words to him.
Yeah.
And then
In like an hour and a half
And then
interview.
had
hour
Will
and a half.
Sasso on it. They made fun of him for about an hour and a half.
so
And
go,
it is hysterically funny.
I think we recommended that episode
Last time, or 2
a
times
lot.
ago.
I just need to reach out to Theo on his podcast to be like, can we talk about that
I
a
would
little
love
bit?
to talk to
Or
Theo
Will
Vaughn.
Sasso.
He's so,
Or Will Sasso,
or
yeah.
Will Sasso, yeah.
And that's like the best way apparently to grow a podcast is like just call people and say what they can do. Say no. That's the worst thing they're gonna say.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
no,
that's
I
what
don't
they
have
said
time for
about
that.
the girls in high school. I asked out.
Hey,
And then what
talk
they
to
do?
us, spit on that thing.
Did they tear down you emotionally, like
Yeah,
from a
sometimes.
spiritual level?
Sometimes.
That's why I'm a failure today. Here's to you.
Tears of joy. Tears of joy.
Yeah,
why I'm
but
sitting
who's
here-
got the championship
That's why
belt
I'm
now?
sitting here wearing these glasses and
is
rocking
here.
my
Who's
cooler
got the
belt.
belt now? God, I love that. Have you seen that? Did I send that Instagram to you where that these people prank called people as John Cena?
Yeah.
So they did the whole. So they call up. It's like a hotel or something like that. And they're like, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you ready?" And she's like, "Sorry, ready for what? For John Cena!" And she like hangs
Saturday
up.
night at the Sportatorium.
Yeah, he calls like 6 times,
Yeah.
and like she's like, "I swear to God, if this is the John Cena guy," and she's like, "Actually, no, ma'am, this is Carla from the Veterans Brigade. Like, do you support the veterans?" She's like, "Oh my God, yes, I totally do." Well, then you support John Cena. It's so good.
So
I
sounds
wanna
like the
do
prank
that.
calls that we would do. We've
wanna-
talked about that before.
I
though.
want to do that on this podcast. I want to do some prank calling.
That'd
We
be
need
funny.
to figure that out one day. I think if we do the movie Funny People, which starts with Adam Sandler.
I never
prank
saw
calling.
Funny People.
Oh, great one.
Crank
Really
good?
yankers.
yeah.
Crank yankers.
Yeah, we'll do cranking.
Oh man,
Hi.
man, I haven't thought
You've
about
got
crank
mail.
anchors in a minute, dude. Fucking crank calls with
Yeah, dude.
puppets.
That was a
It was-
weird time.
That was a weird time.
Matt, that's our podcast.
That's my
It
show.
would be great. Call.
Crank Anchor Podcasting. Yes. Heck yeah, dude.
Well, you'd have to change the name to like Yank Crankers.
Yank. Yank.
Because you can't call it crank
Gert-
anchors.
Pod
You get sued.
Yankers.
Gert jerkers.
Yeah, Gert Jerkers. That's a good one. I like that one.
Oh my God, dude.
Where do you come up with this shit, dude?
Oh Lord! One of the notes I saw, just bringing it back to Groundhog Day, was there's something about the color red that apparently like red shows up when there's like pivotal moments about when he's doing something good or something wrong. And like if you look in the background, like someone would be wearing a really bright red jacket and it's weirdly framed, like when they're sitting in the diner and he's trying to convince
Like right now, like
Rita?
literally
kinda
right now,
creepy that you
right,
said
with
that.
the jacket behind you on the chair.
yes, that
Can you
thing.
see it in the mirror?
I can't see that. No, that's just happening. Okay,
That's fucking creepy,
Pretty
dude.
cool, man.
I'm having a Groundhog Day. Maybe.
Should have stayed in the Navy. I should have. I could have gotten half pay at 20 years.
Yeah, half day
It's
retirement.
literally just what happened
Should've.
right now.
Yeah, so he's trying to convince her, and like apparently, so the color red is like when he's doing something wrong, and so the something wrong is he's trying to convince her that he knows everything, and that's not the point of it. Like
No, the point is to change him as a person.
yes, and so he's not trying to get her sympathy by the fact that he's stuck in this loop for 10,000 years or however long it is, but that he then has to become the right person, like you were saying, like he has to become the man that is supposed to be with Rita. Am I right, Rita?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that jumped out at me.
And time out real quick.
Yeah.
Rita, Annie McDowell.
yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is about that lady, but she's freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
She very pretty lady.
I don't know what it is about that lady, but she could get it.
I mean, she's just, and it's not like traditionally to me like gorgeous, but I'm like, she's just. I
You're
guess
not classically beautiful.
no. Shut up. It's the like the accent and her face is so like I don't know. She's very cute. She's very sweet.
Sweet. You know what it is? It's the teeth to smile ratio, in my opinion. Like it's like
she's a great smile.
Yeah, she's really cute, but then when she smiles, it sells it. And
Yeah.
you know what else is great about movies from the 90s? No one had the freaking veneers.
Oh yeah, the perfect teeth.
cat. Like these are
It
obvious
ruins it.
2-pack a day smokers. Like each and every one of them. Like they are brown, musty yellow teeth, and they're fine. They're normal teeth.
Yeah.
And it kills me today when like every single actor, host, like comic, like they go out, like you see their early videos, they're totally normal looking people, and then they come out and they look like AI versions of themselves, robotic, like comics.
It's like what we talked about in Neverending Story when like Atreyu hit. Why is your skin perfect?
The perfect skin boy.
She's also in Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
She is.
She's in a lot of stuff.
Love
She's
interest
great.
in Hudson Hawk. That's a
Have
great
you ever
one.
seen You've seen Multiplicity?
Yeah, man.
Wait, is Hudson Hawk? She has a French accent.
Yeah,
or
but
something?
the listeners don't know, jackass. I know you've seen it.
Like, dude, come on up.
we got
Spit
on
on
bugs.
bugs.
Act who we're talking
Yeah,
to.
she's the
It's
wife
nobody.
in Multiplicity.
Oh, that's
with
right.
Michael Keaton.
Yes.
If you have not seen Multiplicity, that movie's coming. You should go watch it. It's very funny.
Why not,
12.
Steve? Spin on bugs.
Me and my brother all the time. You let him shave?
We take the blade out.
Yeah, we shave him at night while he's sleeping. And he's literally in the corner of the screen shaving his tongue.
My favorite part is when he comes in the room and he's like, he points at the clone. He's like 12.
Multiplicity is a great one we need to do again, man. Michael Keaton is that was recent after like his
I
last.
was like, that was not recent.
No, after his last Batman film,
Maybe,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Like, wasn't that like 93 or 94? Multiplicity?
Yeah, it's in the 90s for sure.
I'll check it out. But
That's definitely after Batman.
It's
Probably
definitely
like
after
mid 90s,
So his perfect day is
which is 93, 94. Shut up.
it's like it's right there.
I'm just going to repeat what you said with different words. Cool? Cool?
Was just earlier tonight.
Cool beans.
What is that from?
Oh, you just said that.
That's from Hot Rod.
Hot Rod
Cool
is great.
beans.
Hot
Cool,
Rod.
with
Cool
Andy
beans.
Samberg and the guys from
I never
Bowman
saw it.
Island.
Cool
Cool beans. Cool beans. Cool beans. Cool beans.
That rings a lot of bells, though.
Beans. I've been saying that
You've
for
probably seen
years.
like a YouTube short.
Probably,
where
yeah.
I've probably sent that to you as a stupid text because I send that to everybody when they're like, "What are we doing?
Cool beans.
You coming?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm coming." Cool beans. And in my head, that's how it's coming out. But to everyone else, I'm just a loser.
Why
Anyways.
beans?
Why the cool beans? Why do you want cool beans?
Okay. Back to Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
I do like the when it's going on behind you, but when they spend all the time and he's convincing her, and you can tell they have a really good rapport. Like
Yeah.
they have really good chemistry together. When, but apparently he was a total asshole to her on set. But
It's Bill. I feel like Bill has his moods, has his moments.
well,
but
like we said, he's going through divorce,
going
so it's
through
even
divorce,
a harder time.
that's really difficult.
And
yeah.
I wouldn't doubt, not from experience or not that I know, but you know, a lot of people might did a lot of drugs. You know, did a lot of hoo-ha, did a lot of hing-hong, you know what I mean? But
Drink a lot of Monster Energy drinks.
what is the thing
That's
from
Theo
Theo?
Vaughn.
Theo?
He's like, Joe Rogan's like, I drink a lot of Monster. It makes me have to pee all the time. He's like, yeah, also makes you want to beat your wife. You know what I mean? He's like, what? He's like, I don't know, man.
I don't know,
I see a
man.
lot of dudes drinking Monster. They're going home to punch. You know?
Yes, that's what I was trying to think of. They're going home to punch. That's so terrible. Man, he's so freaking funny, man.
Damn you, Theo.
He's so funny.
We're trying to have our own podcast, and you just keep popping up into it.
when he
You
does
son of a.
when he does the freaking when he's talking to Drewski
Yeah.
about the Cat Williams statue that he bought that's just the black nutcracker, and he's like, oh yeah, Cat's so funny, man. You saw him on Joe Rogan, and he's like, I got 37 bathing suits, Joe Rogan. I don't even want to go. I've never even been swimming.
Never even been swimming, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, and the way he does that impersonation, man, it kills me every time.
It's super weird to look at where Theo Von started out on the Road Rules. Wasn't
Yeah,
that
Road
it?
Rules, yeah.
On Road Rules, and it'd be like to where he is
was
now.
On Road
Yeah.
Rules?
Yes, like in 2001.
Oh, that's
dude.
way
That's how
back in the
long
day.
that
ago it
show.
was. Yeah.
We need to just like highlight like the Miz was on Road Rules. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a great
Was he-
idea.
I think.
Or he was on the challenge, maybe.
Well, no, because to
Real
go
World
onto the
versus Road
challenge,
Rules
to
or
go onto the
something.
challenge, you had to be on one of the shows
Yeah,
originally.
he might have been on
So
Real
he
World.
might have been on Real World. That's what I was trying to think. Like, but he seems more of a road. I think you're right. I don't know why we're like debating. I'm debating this right now in my brain.
You're the champ.
That's what the pop culture told you
I'll
to
never
do.
forget that I was in like the perfect sweet spot for Real World when they did
Yes.
Seattle,
Yeah.
Okay.
and the gay black guy slapped that girl and then left the show.
And everybody was like, whoa.
Yeah, but dude, I remember watching the show and being like, I would hate to live with all these other weirdo people.
don't want to live
But
there.
look at this place that they're living
But
in.
have
Yeah.
you seen this room?
Yes.
Have you seen my room?
It looks incredible.
Yes.
Especially in
We're
Seattle, they had this
in it.
like big like warehouse thing like on like one of the piers in the like
Oh yes, I do
You had, to
remember
watch
that.
Yes.
you had to watch the flying fish.
Oh my god, yeah.
Heads up.
dangerous.
Wham.
Have you seen those cod in the northern like rivers and lakes where there was
Yeah,
like some
I went to Seattle.
no
Oh.
this
Different
is
place.
I don't know if that happens out there.
Oh, okay.
But there's like in like the Midwest and the North and like the lakes and stuff. There was like some invasive species of like catfish or something.
Okay.
So they brought in these like Chinese cod to kill the invasive species, which is always smart. You kill an invasive species by putting a species that doesn't belong.
Yeah, you do that, and then
They
Yeah, you screw each other. It's Dutch door action.
when boats go through, the motors freak them out and they jump.
oh, that's right. Yes.
And the lakes and stuff are
yeah.
full
Wham.
of them, and literally people go with nets and they just like catch them like they're playing
drive
tennis.
yes.
Like, this is
pickleball,
weird
baby.
as shit.
You go out with a net. I'm going out with a baseball bat. Dude. It's just. Ping,
I'm just gonna
that's
lay
dinner.
down in the boat and watch them fly over us.
Just see who they hit. I've seen videos of like poor kids, like they're so happy to be on a boat in their little life jackets,
Wham.
and all of a sudden a 30-pound fish comes and hits them with the
Dude,
face.
they are so big.
It's so
They're so big.
Reminds
But-
me of the
I'm
guy from
ashamed to laugh at
Anchorman
it,
brought
but-
through the plate and wham!
I'm Chip.
All right, so his perfect day, he gets like coffee for everybody, and then he goes to the party and he plays piano and he saves the guy from choking, catches the little kid falling from the tree, and he's like, "You've never thanked me.
Yes, not once. Never ever thanked me. Yeah,
I'll see you tomorrow, maybe."
maybe that's it. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna let you fall tomorrow,
He
you little
goes through,
jerk.
he does go through like the existential crisis though, of like trying to save that old homeless guy.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
like,
that's hard.
greets him, and that's a,
where they're like,
And
sometimes
did you
people-
notice
scene.
that the
Well-
whole time he's calling him dad and pop?
Yeah, pop,
say, hey, father,
says-
how are you?
father.
He says
And Pop.
dad
Yeah.
when he's like giving him CPR when he's in the alley.
Yeah.
He's like, "Come on, Pop. Come on, Dad." I'm like, "Wait, did he say dad?"
Yeah,
Ooh,
like,
that's rough.
Although
Yeah,
when
dude.
he gets to the hospital, and she's like, "Sometimes people just die," and he's like, "Not today."
Yeah.
Not today.
Where's the chart?
Yeah, which you get in so much trouble. Like,
oh yeah, just
It
walking
would not-
through
it
and
would
looking.
not
Maybe
be
not
like-
in Wisconsin.
well,
I mean,
maybe,
in
but
Philip-
like
in Punxsutawney.
here it would not be like, "Oh yeah, don't." Here the
Oh, here
nurse
it'd
would
be
be like, "Wham!" Like,
Hey,
where you
guess what?
going,
The
dude?
cops are here.
No,
The
not
cops
even.
are here. They want to talk to you.
Nurse would just beat your
Oh,
ass.
they got. They
That's what I'm
got.
saying. But then it would be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, the cops are here. They
Oh,
want to talk to you."
You fell, man.
No,
Yeah.
the cops are here. They want to talk to you.
They carry tasers just for the fun of it.
What happened to my face? You fell.
No, you-
Yeah.
oh, you
No,
fell.
no. They'd probably be like, "I punched you. Remember? You did what I told you not to do, so I laid your ass out."
Stuck you with this needle, and then I just beat you like you stole something.
Did you see what I posted in my story today?
Yes.
Where it's like, I'm so good at I'm always misreading signals, and it's like someone in the dentist chair, they're laying down, and the doctor is like this,
Yeah.
and they like, yeah.
Oh, he reaches
And
up
then,
to do
and
the
then
heart.
he like
He
pushes
slaps
his hands
his
down,
hand.
and then he like goes back again, and he like pushes his hand down, and then the nurse hands him a syringe. I thought that was so funny.
Where was that? We were there. Was that yesterday? And I think Tanner walked up, or at your daughter's birthday party, and Tanner walked up to give a high five to like my kid, and like I immediately went for it. I was like, "Oh yeah!" And I slapped his hand. He was like, "Actually, no, I was gonna high five your daughter there next to you." And I was, "Oh, well, cool, all right,
Yeah.
I like a high five too."
I mean,
man.
you
It was
could have just given her a high five, not told me about that.
You could have just high fived us both, and then we both would have walked away.
We both would have felt good about ourselves.
As men and adults, and it's fine. So I
That's
like
funny.
high fives. It's cool. Anyway, so yeah, so he has his perfect day, and he saves the guy. He ends it up at.
But even before that, when he's trying to do his like shtick with Rita, and they have this really wonderful day together, and you could really tell that she's really falling for him. She's right on the edge of like, let's go back to your place. Ooh. And she stops herself, and then he kind of just like he keeps trying, and he's trying different things, and he starts getting slapped in the face.
Yeah,
he told Annie McDowell, Bill Murray, just hit me as hard as you can.
I agree.
So she slaps him in the face over and over and over again for real. But it's interesting because he starts to lose hope, and he just starts to kind of exist in the day, and he's not even giving it any effort anymore. And he's just like, I just don't care. Like, I've tried so hard and nothing is working.
He doesn't even get dressed. He's just in a t-shirt and in his coat. Like, when he goes to the diner and stuff. Like, it's just
and and he's trying. And then like they have the one day where, he's trying to recreate that one day that they had together that was so magical. But you can tell he's just forcing it. And all the playfulness with the kids and stuff is like, it's got this like air of creepiness to it because he's forcing everything. And then when they lay down on the ground where they had the like face-to-face almost kissing beautiful moment, and he's like and like edging towards her like this goofy little like, and she's like, what is wrong with this psychopath? Like, this guy's creepy as hell.
Yeah, this if you were just experiencing him for the first time at multiple points of this movie, like you're just seeing like this dude is having a breakdown.
Yes.
Hour by hour, and it's just getting worse. And he's like, the level of his mental health is just it's
steep
plummeting.
Decline.
Plummeting. And so you do have like, okay.
Like we talked about, he ends up going in where he normally goes downstairs, and the lady asks him about the weather, the lovely B&B lady, and he walks in, walks right past her, picks the toaster up, pulls the plug, goes upstairs, and then it's like, what is he doing? And he pushes down on the toast things, and then he gets in the bathtub. You're like, what is he doing? And then he just picks up the toaster and drops it, and then it cuts away cuts downstairs to where she's there, and the lights dim and come back, and she's
like a prison movie.
Huh.
It's like a prison photo.
It's like a prison.
So funny. And that's when it kicks off, like him killing himself over and over and over again, different ways.
Convincing Anne, he's like, I've been stabbed, shot, trampled, run over,
poisoned, set on fire. Yeah.
And the waitress is like, I'll come back.
Yeah.
Well, she's like listening in, and I was like, yeah, I would stay and listen. I was like, I'm sorry, hold on, where's this going? And do you want more coffee?
You want fries with that?
Because I'll bring you more coffee.
Put the fries in the bag.
Let's put them all out there. Yeah, I just I mean, it poses a lot of like philosophical questions of like, what would you do if you had forever? And like forever with not necessarily without consequence, because there is like the first time that he realizes that's right, we're not going to get punished if I wake up tomorrow and everything's back to normal. I can do whatever I want. And that's when he goes on the drunk driving, hits the mailbox and gets stuck in jail, and then wakes up and he's like, holy shit, this works. Yeah. And so it does pose it like, well, what
that's
would
a really
you do?
funny part of the movie too, when he goes drunk driving and the cops walk up.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me do the talking. And the guy opens the door and he's like, I'd like a large fry, hamburger, chocolate shake, anything for you guys. And then the guy's like, I'd take some waffles.
Yeah, flapjacks.
And he's like, too early for flapjacks?
I love it because he gets in. He's like, hey, friends don't let friends drive.
Yes.
And then he takes the guy's keys, gets in, and he puts it in reverse and like hits the gas in reverse and then pulls back up and goes, I don't think I should drive. And he's like, yeah, I don't think so either. They shoves the other two people in. And it's the two idiots from the diner who are like, hey, put that anywhere, bud. Like, every time the guy drops the tray, the waiters,
the glass, the plates and stuff, breaks all the plates.
They're really just the morons of the town, and it's pretty evident of why. Dude.
Yeah,
but they're great in that. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it. I was like, geez, man, this movie does it. Like, it poses the questions without shoving down your throat, like to the point that you're just kind of sick of it. Because there isn't a point in this movie where I'm like, all right, I'm done. He's living the same day over and again. All right, well, like, how many times are we going to hear, just put your little hand in mine? And like watch him start it over and over again, because then eventually they just start cutting to like where he left off.
Trying new things.
Yeah. Trying every new thing, or like trying to see how Larry reacts differently, or like what he can do, how he can help the cameraman. Like, trying to score, like Larry's trying to hit on all these women.
This poor Nancy.
He's like, yeah, I don't know. I should probably go too. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm gonna go back to the party. Oh, me too.
Yeah. We should all go. But he learns how to play piano amazingly. And he gets up there, and we all know Bill Murray is a blues Chicago loving dude. So he's up on stage just doing what naturally looks like how Bill Murray should be spending his retirement, is playing in a pop-up jazz street band and rocking out every night. But he gets through there. Everyone's loving him. He's definitely turned like his moral compass, because you realize he's not really doing it for himself. He's doing it also for like the betterment of the town, like saving people, saving kids,
saving the mayor.
There isn't this over, this over or looming presence of him. Like, well, I'm also doing this to inflate
what's
my
in it for
ego.
me.
Yeah.
Right.
This is for me. Like when he stole the money, like he was using that power to
dress
time
up as Dirty Harry.
Yes. Just
like he's just like kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
He gives a shit.
No, I get caught. I go to jail for 4 hours.
57 minutes. But when he goes with he's dressed up as
Dirty Harry, isn't it? Or Clint Eastwood, yeah.
It's definitely Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I don't know if it's The Quick and the Dead or if it's
because he's got like the poncho thing on.
Yeah, he tells the girl who's dressed as a French maid, and she's like, "I thought we were going to a costume
like
party."
I said.
Yeah, and she's like,
"I love this film."
But it's like, call me. Because she says, I thought we were going to a costume party, Phil, and he's like, call me Bronco.
That's it. Call me Bronco.
It's from the character Bronco Billy, the Clint Eastwood character Bronco Billy.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I believe it's Bronco Billy.
Which I was like, what a more fun way to go to the movies, though. Dress up as the cowboy.
Yeah, except for the fact that if everybody's not dressed up, you'll just look like you're crazy.
I'll be that guy. I'll be the person.
I'm well aware.
I'm just kidding.
I thought you said you were Kurt.
But yeah, and then
I'll go.
we'll go back to the. I just wanted to point that out, but we'll go back to the end where Trey was talking about where it's following him through a lot more of the day.
Yeah.
Again, and it's like, okay, and he's definitely changed as a person, because he starts off the day, he brings the coffee and the pastries, and it's not just coffee and pastries, it's the coffee and the pastry that Larry
yes,
specifically, and that she likes specifically, and they're like, oh, thanks, Phil, and he's like, yeah, no problem, happy to do it. Like let's get this on, and you could tell it's sincere.
It's
the
like
change.
He's made peace with his lot in life. Like, all right, if I'm gonna live
like,
this thing.
Oh, okay. Like this is who I am now. Like this is me.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the search for himself.
Yeah.
And once he finally gets comfortable in who he is and where he's supposed to be, then the ball really starts
February 3rd.
to go. Yeah, the ball really starts to roll him over.
And doesn't it play I Got You, Babe on February 3rd?
It does, yes.
Yeah, but they say something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the big change is that Rita's there, and
and she reaches over, she's like, it's too early.
Yeah, she smacks that alarm clock, and he's like, holy shit, you're here. Wait, what do you mean you're here?
And he pinches her.
Like, yeah. And she's like,
you asked me to stay, so I stayed.
Yeah.
So that's where it brings up the philosophy of like, well, was it just them getting together, or was it the fact, because it's like, why does Ned need to do that? Mm-hmm. Why did they include Ned at the end of the night being like, and this guy here, he came in, he made my year. He came in and bought
Best day
every
of my
insurance
life.
policy I have to offer. And then he shakes his hand again and like points him and does that whole jab. And it's like, is that the curse? Is Ned, when he points him, he does that little like,
we can tell which theory is his favorite.
I want that one because that's mine.
Do you like Flock of Seagulls?
Yeah.
No, but I can tell you do.
In the ball.
The ball.
No, but Ned, I feel like Ned's whole mannerisms, his like the way he points at him constantly and like does that. I was
when
like,
he tries to follow them out of the party, and then but Rita's like, let's not ruin it.
But like, I have this. I love the theory about Ned being like the devil and like that, and it's him pointing and like until he's happy to let him keep going, and it's because he wanted him to buy his insurance because he jilted him from a relationship with Phil's sister, and
it's
that's
all just
his
a
life.
long ploy.
Exactly, it's the long ploy, and then it's maybe forgiveness, honestly, in some ways. But yeah, so yeah, they wake up February 3rd and they, of course, he's elated. But the part of it that I'm like, what are you talking about? How do you live 10,000 years, 30 years, however long he's been here?
He wants to live in that town.
And he's like, let's live here. And he's like, we'll rent at first, but then we'll buy eventually and stay here forever.
that was ad-libbed.
What? I hope that's not like how he actually feels. I hope like he's like, dude, nope, we need to run right now.
Although at the same time, like, who knows how you'd feel?
Yeah. He is like a
that's
celebrity
true.
in that town.
That
now.
is true. He is
And
a
not-
celebrity.
Not
He has
only that,
fame in a very wholesome
Different way.
Yeah. In
And
a way that
even-
is love.
even if it's not about the fame, it's just I know this. It's like I know this town, and the way everybody loves him from that one day. I mean, it's genuine. It's not this bullshit from like,
That's really
because I'm the
true.
weatherman, like everybody knows me. It's like they really come up to him and they know him, they care about him for things that he's done, not for
Yeah.
just being on TV. Because they don't even know him from being on TV, other than like, does he give like the move? It's not the moving speech in the morning that day. It's a different day that he gives like the really.
I think he gives like a version.
It's just
of
a
it.
good
I
one.
think the moving speech though is the last day, isn't it? I think
Maybe.
it's the big one. I think it's the one that really takes
the
it
big
seriously.
one.
It's the big one.
That's what she said. But she was lying.
She was being nice.
Being facetious.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. You know, I hadn't thought about that. But now that he is famous because he is loved, not because of his notoriety to the outside world, but
Right.
because of his fame within the community, within the small community that he actually can impact, like
Right.
on a one-on-one. You know, and that's a really interesting. I hadn't thought of that actually. That like rather than it being that, oh, I'm famous to everyone in the world, people I don't know, people I'll never meet, I'll never trust, I'll never do anything for them personally. Versus now he's famous with this town where he can impact their lives and they can impact his directly.
He's
So
he's part of a community.
yeah, exactly. And so maybe that's the greater message.
a
of
good
it.
show.
Like, yeah, what? It's good shit.
Community.
Oh,
is a good
Community.
show.
Oh, great show, Community. Yeah, totally
So
underwritten.
that's what makes this movie so great is the level of comedy, the heart to it, it's the goofy,
Murray.
funny humor, and the darkness to it, which is Bill Murray.
Yes.
Bill
Do you want
Murray.
good Phil or bad Phil?
Yeah.
It's truly awesome.
I love
He's
nonchalant
wonderful.
Phil when he's just kind of going with the flow.
Have you
and-
seen Lost in Translation?
Yes, that's nonchalant Phil. Yeah.
Other than the end of that movie, I fucking love that movie.
Never seen that movie.
well, and when like he
It's
whispers
so
some
frustrating when
random
they
ass
do
thing.
that kind of stuff.
Someone found out what he said or something, and I forget what it was, but it was like, I bet you thought I couldn't speak Japanese or something. I don't know. Or like,
Really?
Yeah, it was something, and like someone read his lips. Or I can't remember who, but someone solved that. Like, saw that post like in 2018 or something. Like
Interesting.
That. I'll have to
Yeah,
find
but you
it.
never know like what it's supposed to have been. It's just what he actually said to her. Who cares?
I said Phil a couple times. I meant Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill being Bill is Bill. And yeah, you're right. Bill is I think, and I've heard like Seinfeld say like tragically funny.
Yeah.
In the way that you see like a sadness about him that is both like it's gripping, and you just kind of wait for him like to break the tension of like this kind of not depressed, but a very like it's a melancholy kind of face. And so then when he says anything that's funny or out of character of that, it's elevated or multiplied by 10.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, thank God, he's in a good mood. It's funny. It's whatever's going on. It's funny. He's okay. And I think that's kind of the brilliance of Bill Murray. But
Yeah.
definitely give it a watch. 1993.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
Groundhog, well
Super funny.
worth it. If you can't find it, it's on Amazon Prime for right now. But I'd give it. I mean,
It's only like a few days left.
oh, it is.
I think like 2 weeks or something like that until it leaves Prime.
We lucked out.
Lucked
Yeah.
out. We got it on DVD, so it's
Oh,
fine.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
you got everything on DVD. And
We got binders and binders and
we need
binders
that
and
needs
binders.
to be part of our Patreon experience. Is we're just gonna show. Like, I want to take some of the binders home and just start flipping through them and just on camera and
You
be like,
guys
this
pick
is
what
bonus
movie we
material
Mystery
here.
Science Theater.
You want to know what's really funny is my brother has like 17 of these binders. I don't know how many. There's a lot.
Yeah.
At my house, I bought one and put my DVDs in it.
like half of the
It's
binder.
not even full.
Yeah, it's like half the
And
binder.
there's video games in it too. And not like, I think if I filled it up with all the video games I bought over the time, like I could probably fill it at least. But
over the time.
yes, that's what I like to refer to as my life.
The time.
The time.
We just have a time.
It's
you
the
know?
time.
That's it. It's the time.
My time, your time.
Hey,
It's
it's
a great.
the 90s.
It's a great title for an
Your
album.
girlfriend has a
It's the
girlfriend.
time.
Hey, it's the 90s.
But yeah, definitely check it out. And thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you guys. Check us out on all the platforms.
Wherever you get
Sorry
your
for
podcast
any of you who
fix.
check us out on Spotify. We came out a touch late
We're back.
this week.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you checking us out Saturday. But anytime we're not there Friday morning when we're normally up, it's just some technical difficulties we're experiencing.
Usually I slept in and I
we're
just forgot to
If
post
we're not
it.
there Friday.
No, we got to hand it to Matt for all
Just
the
wait
hard
longer.
work, for all the hard work that he's put in. We got to give it to Matt. The show wouldn't be anything or be anywhere without him. So thank you very much to Matt.
Take the belt off.
Thank you for. No, wait, this is my present. I'm the champ.
This is champ.
But thank you for joining us every week. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook and TikToks and the YouTubes and anywhere you find podcasting.
Yeah.
Be sure to give us likes, subscribe, ring a notification bell. All that stuff that people say. Comment. That would be amazing. Good, bad, or indifferent. I don't care. I'd just like to see what you guys have to say.
Yep.
Give us tips, advice, what you like, what you don't like.
Yep.
What you would like to hear about. What topics, what movies, what shows. Shows will take more time, like we've talked about, but movies we can get done pretty quick.
We could beat a game for an
Yeah,
episode.
you could tell Trey he's a streaming guy.
I'll beat it.
We do it.
I'll beat it.
Yep. And
It may take years. I beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES for me,
I'll
jackass.
beat it.
Turtles in Time.
I'll beat it.
No,
Turtles
no,
in Time.
not Turtles in
I
Time.
do one sitting. I do one sitting.
I do it in one.
Dude.
But yes, so thank you. Check us out, nostalgialandshop.com
Yep.
and
Nostalgialandpodcast.com.
nostalgialandpodcast.com
Etsy.
and Nostalgialand Shop on Etsy.
On the Etsy.
We appreciate you. Check us out.
And we are also setting up our Patreon. It should be available. Right now, we're just doing $1 memberships, man. And we're going to try to bring some extra content in there. If you like what we're hearing, want to support us, buy us coffee or Pop Rocks and soda or more Sunny D.
Sunny D.
Totally happy.
That's our Sunny D money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that goes to Sunny D. We'd love that. So just $1 a month, just support and give some love. We'd really love to see that. So
Until next time,
I'm Matt.
Trey.
and I'm Tyler. Cowbunga. I'm the champ.